went up to Columbus. Arch Manning got his first start. Julian Sang got his first start. Ryan Day versus Sark, running back. Honestly, what was last year's national championship. Let's call it what it is. Ohio State takes on Texas. And Lee Corso's last college game day, he picked them right. He actually went 5-0 this weekend with
That's
all
crazy.
the picks that he made on his way out the door.
I'm here for it because you know what else he did? He picked LSU to win the whole thing.
Oh, on his way out.
Yeah, LSU over Penn State in the national championship.
That'd be an electric national championship, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So for this game, I think there's a lot to it's weird because it's like there's like the score was what you see it right here. It's 14-7. I feel like a lot of this was both coaches not wanting to put their guy in a bad situation and not get too complicated, but then also being so conservative that like they shot themselves in the foot multiple times. I think there was a couple drops by like Jeremiah Smith, which I thought was also kind of weird.
Back to back, I think it was like 2 passes in a row.
Right, and like short, just little dump off passes that he was like just turned around, like the ball was here, and he just like looked away.
Right.
Julian Sang kind of finding his footing a little bit. I feel like people need to kind of. Well, I'm gonna throw this to you in a second. I think that Arch did what Arch did, but people need to relax just a little bit. We talked about pumping the brakes last week. People need to give the kid a chance. I know he's been in the system for 3 years. But his first start is not a cupcake. He had to go on the road against the last year's national champions.
Yeah.
Like at a big noon kickoff with all of the pressure in the world on him. He's a Manning. He knows what his last name is, guys. Hello.
Right.
Obviously, like he's not stupid. He's a good kid. He's earned the right to be Sark's starter, obviously, because he kept Ewers over him. So there's a reason for that.
Right.
I don't know. Like, yes, he did make some bad throws, but like I think that he just needs time. He did not have the weapons in this game, and it was very apparent that he did not have the same weapons. We talked about this pregame, the weapons that Ewers had. How do you feel about how this one went?
Yeah, I mean, so remember we talked about. I thought that the key was going to be their ability to run the ball against Ohio State's front, and they did. It's another one where like you go and you look at the numbers. And it's a little misleading. Like the way that the score was in that game, you would think that Ohio State just dominated because it was 14-0 in the fourth quarter. But you actually look at the numbers, and then you look at some of the other like at the game script, the game flow, and Texas had 16 first downs. Ohio State only had 11. Ohio State had 200 total yards of offense, 126 through the air, 77 on the ground. And I'm not saying Texas was great, but they ran for 166 yards on the ground, 4.5 yards a carry, doubled up on what Ohio State was able to do. Arch did throw one pick, but the thing is, they had multiple turnovers on fourth. They were 1 for 5 on fourth down. Texas was, and one of those was like early on at like close to midfield. They tried to go for it on the goal line multiple times, and just kept running the ball up the middle. And I'm not saying like I'm totally with you. I do feel like some of this was a like protect Arch and protect Julian Sayin from having some major mistake, kind of like what you do when you have a young pitcher. You don't want to bring him up to the majors too early and have his head get ripped off, because then he starts like not trusting his fastball. Speaking of which, maybe Arch should not trust his fastball so much, because he throws the ball way too hard on short to intermediate routes. And that was but I will say this. I don't know if he's maybe not a little overhyped. There's something in his mechanics, like his throwing motion. He comes down kind of sidearm, and it's not great for like a platform to get the ball through passing lanes. Now, if you do that, like you see Patrick Mahomes do this all the time, right? Where he's using different arm angles to avoid an extended arm, to throw around a defender. Like he's like a point guard out there, like, wrapping around, throwing like, backspin bounce passes and
Right.
stuff to a guy who's cutting. Arch Manning is just like, his throwing mechanic is he throws the ball 3/4 delivery, and he throws the piss out of it, and sometimes it's too much. So I don't know. I was a little surprised that they didn't have more designed runs for him. Maybe some a little more RPO. It seemed like they did a lot of just like straight up either play action or just straight drop back out of the shotgun.
Well, he got caught a couple times, even when he tried to it was like a collapsing pocket. He tried the Ohio State defense got him.
That's
a couple
different
times.
though. That's not. I'm talking about like design stuff, designed runs where you run an RPO or you run a little read option where he gets to read the end and then keep it and go to the outside. This was more of like, he was trying to scramble up through the middle of a collapsing pocket, and that's not. That's going to be tough regardless. The pocket's collapsing.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue. Patricia, I think like overall the defense for Ohio State got the job done for them this weekend. I know that like Texas kind of gave them some. I think both teams honestly tried to hand it to each other a couple of times, if we're being honest. Each had their fair share.
For sure.
I thought that if this was going to happen, right, the Ohio State receivers were going to have to do their best to help Sayin out, and Carnell Tate makes an unbelievable catch in the end zone, like around the defender's back, like all this, like falling backwards, like crazy. That was awesome. There's something about, like, for example, Gus Malzahn being the OC at Florida State, Patricia now being the DC at Ohio State. There's something about guys who have been head coaches around the league, around the country, and then they get to go back to their roots and just get in their bag, being a coordinator for like what they know best. Like I was saying, like whoever picks up Will Muschamp as a defensive coordinator automatically makes your team good. It's true. We'll make your team better. It's the truth. He can't be a head coach, but your defense will be so much better with him as your coordinator. It's certain guys, like when they just get a hold of a team and they do it right, like they become better. I think that like Patricia looks like it's going to be a good fit for Ohio State. I just think that it all came down to just, somebody had to eventually give way, and it was Ohio State making their way.
Yeah, so I'm going to just go through like this drive. So it's 7-0 and start of the third quarter, 3 and out. Okay. Texas gets the ball back. 15 plays, 70 yards, 7 minutes off the clock. 6-yard run, 6-yard run, 3-yard pass, 15-yard run, 9-yard run, 2-yard run, 4-yard run, 4-yard pass, 8-yard run, 9-yard pass, 2-yard pass, 5-yard run. Now they are so that 2-yard pass got them down to the 9. So it's first and goal at the 9. 5-yard run by Arch Manning down to the 4. Then a 1-yard run by Arch Manning down to the 3. Then a 2-yard run by CJ Baxter down to the 1, and then no gain running out of the middle. So like 4 straight running plays from first and goal at the 9. All right, and turnover on downs. So Ohio State now. Credit to Matt Patricia and that Ohio State defense for bowing up, but no passing plays, and everything was run up the middle. That's the other part. It's like you're running right into the teeth, the strength of their defense when you're in that tight. I would say their secondary is probably the strength of their defense when you're a little farther away from. And then Texas gets the ball back. Ohio State gets the ball back, 3 and out again, 3 plays, 7 yards. Then Texas throws a pick. And then Ohio State goes down and 68 yards later puts it into the end zone. That's the big play to us. So that first time that Ohio State scored a touchdown, there's a lot of penalties by Texas. And then this one, an interception sets up, and then you've got just a great play, just a great individual play by Carnell Tate, like 40-yard, like just I thought he didn't catch it, and then like
me neither.
You look at it, it's like, oh damn, the ball didn't drop. Similar to the CJ Daniels play last night.
Talk about very soon.
We're going to talk about that one in a minute. Yep. But so it's touchdown. Now it's 14-0. We're in the fourth quarter, and Texas gets the ball back, and they immediately answer. 13 plays, 76 yards, 5 minutes off the clock. They march right down to the field, and what do? They get the ball to the 9-yard line again. And they finally do throw the ball, and it's incomplete, and we are we are sitting here watching another turnover on downs.
So they went
inside
run,
the
and that's when they
10-yard
went
line.
pass on the 9-yard line.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
what I will say about the games this weekend, especially with these big time matchups, it's like something fluky happens. I think there was none of that. I think all the teams that won this weekend earned their win and more.
Absolutely.
They played their ass off for these wins.
Yep.
Rolling on, you talked about CJ Daniels in Miami. Let's get into it.
Yep.
Miami 27.